This is Danny from GameFront.com, and this is something a little bit different. This is Demo 401, and if you haven't read the title of the video, we're going to explore the Titanic in Unreal Engine 5. And I've cranked the graphics up to the max to see what the deal is. And it's not a game in the traditional sense, but what it is a way to explore the Titanic as it was before it sank, obviously, in Unreal Engine 5. So it's going to be a good way of just checking out Unreal Engine 5 as well, I think, just to see how nice it looks. Let's start off on first class. Now, about 50% of the ship has been represented in this demo. So about half of the ship is explorable, and the other half is not. But half is pretty good. I don't know. I've just had a weird interest in Titanic stuff lately. There's just been watching some documentaries and some on YouTube, and it's a thing that even all these years later. Still captivation somewhat. Now, again, graphics cranked on this. It's Unreal Engine 5. It's going to be cutting bleeding edge stuff. It might not run that well. It actually runs all right. It looks. Unreal Engine 5 is exciting. I'm sorry. It's Unreal Engine 5 is pretty exciting, and I think it's just. It's the lighting. It's just look at the way the lighting kind of hits this wall. And then, it's almost intangible, isn't it, to describe it? But I've seen some stuff in Unreal Engine that's just looking pretty, like the sea looks like fairly standard sea for a video game. But when you look at something like that, that's borderline photorealistic, isn't it? Like, that's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It's not bad. I think, maybe texture quality is the point where the illusions kind of collapse in. Look at the volumetric rays coming through the window. It's pretty sick. It's pretty nice. So this is pretty good. So we're on the first class deck. Allegedly. I'm not sure what this would have been for. I guess you put some deck chairs out. Do these doors open, maybe? I think that's a door that opens, but I'm sure the windows do anyway. So I'm guessing this is a private deck promenade / wardrobe there, place for the hoi polloi to come and sit. But out here we've got I don't know anything about the interior of the Titanic, so forgive me for just figuring this out as I go. Look at the detail on that. Smoking in the companionways is strictly forbidden. Oh, Unreal Engine 5 is pretty sick. Look at the heater, right? You can see the heat coming off the bars, which probably isn't that impressive in effect, but I don't know, it's just everything ties together. The lighting, the reflections, dare I say the refractions. But it's fascinating, the Titanic, because it's the first ship. It's not the first ship, but it's definitely of that era where they were trying to make it feel like you weren't on a ship, right? They wanted you to feel like you were in a hotel and almost forget about the fact that you were on the ocean. Like, so you've got all of the luxuries and amenities, heaters, places to sit. Can we go through this door? Cannot. At least I don't know how, if you can. But it looks like there was some kind of promenade. There's so much to explore that this is going to take a while. But so I'm just stopping to look at every little detail. We've got like half a freaking ship to look through. So, but anyway, so this is so we're on B deck, which is cool. And again, yeah, this is the first class area, so it's very opulent. I think this is just another. This one's open. So here we go. Look at this. So I'm guessing this is where people would come for lunch or maybe an afternoon tea, or just to sit out on the deck and a drink. Watch the ocean go by. It's surreal, isn't it? The level of detail is just captivating. Like, it's eerie in a way as well, because you can just imagine there's no people in this game, and that almost makes it eerier in a way. It kind of... I'm glad there's no NPCs or anything, because it adds to the kind of sadness, I guess, in a way, of the whole thing. Let me go through those. There must be a way to... I'll have to figure out. There must be a way through somehow. Any controls that we can use? I don't feel like there's a ton of interactivity in this, but forward, back, right, left, up, down, run, crouch, interact is F. Let's try F. Oh. So I'm guessing we can't open these doors, which is a shame because it looks incredibly detailed down there. I guess that's part of the illusion. That must be the half of the ship we can't go to. Look, there's a chair in the elevator. Phenomenal. Can we use the elevator? Guess not, but it's a posh elevator. I've seen houses less comfortable than that elevator. I don't know whether we should go up or down. Oh, we can go down this corridor. Nice. So let's have a look through this. So this is staterooms B51 to B1010DD. So again, this is... Look at the lighting on this corridor, though. This is what I'm saying about Unreal Engine 5. It's nice. I'm going to turn down my mouse sensitivity. This is not a first-person shooter, and I don't need to be waving my head around like a maniac. This is... it's just like when you just pause for a second like that, that could be a photograph to me. Or at least it's borderline close. Like, it's pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, the first-class cabins here are smaller than I thought, but it's literally like a living room, isn't it? Look, you've got the fireplace with the electric heater, you've got the mirror, the clock, some lounges, nice dining table and chairs, little desk to write your telegrams and whatnot. Some Greek artwork on the wall. They were very big on the Greeks back in the Edwardian days, I believe. Your own private promenade, again, with a nice bush. And a place to take tea. But why would you need this many chairs if it was just for you? That's the bit I don't get. That's wild. Oh. There's a bulkhead behind that door. Illusion shattered. But just the lighting and stuff when you catch it, it's just wild. Electric fan, nice. And this is the bedroom, two bedrooms, sink included. So I'm guessing this was for like a guest or a child maybe. This was the master bed, sink and stuff included. I'm guessing through there would have been the bathroom, the shower maybe. It's a bit odd having the sink in the bedroom if you ask me, but takes all kinds. Some light switches and stuff there. So extreme on the field of view there. So that's an idea of what a typical first class cabin was, I guess. Guess we can't go in every single one because they're all going to be pretty much the same. What have we got here? This is B57. I'm guessing this is another stateroom. The other interesting thing that I read about the Titanic is that each, especially in first class anyway, like each of the different staterooms, they were all done in different architectural styles. Like this one would be Greek, and then the one next door would be Roman, and the one next door would be, and they would just, every single cabin and berth was just custom. So each one was just, and I was just like, why? That's just so intensely difficult to do. why would you build it like that? But it's obviously true because this cabin's completely different style, completely different. The reflections in that mirror are definitely not ray traced, but we'll let it off. You could mix in ray tracing with what is Unreal Engine 5 is doing a pretty phenomenal job with on its own. But I don't think we need it, but yeah. Marble sink tops. So this is like got more accommodation, I guess. So we've got a couple of beds there, a couple of beds here, so maybe for a bigger family or something like that. It's a narrow walkway here with stuff and things. And then, are these 3 different cabins where the doors have just been kind of opened up? Maybe it's like in hotels where you can just have like connecting rooms. That would be my guess. But like, you can still see my point though. Like, this room is completely different to this room, which is completely different to this room. It's wild. It's completely wild. What we've got down here, ladies. It's a good thing I like it. Just an interconnecting corridor between the 2 corridors, I guess. We'll come back that way. And that's probably just going to be the same rooms again. Interconnections, gentlemen. Interconnections. Closed door. I'm guessing you can't open all these doors, but I'm guessing each cabin is a cabin, as it were. Oh, here's another one. Again, completely different architectural style from the others. Just completely. The layouts are somewhat similar: bed, single bed, double bed, sink. But yeah, just different. Just a different decor in every single cabin. Just why? Just why? It's crazy to me. Well, fascinating as well. If you want to read or learn more about how the Titanic looked and worked and functioned and operated and all of this information, then there's a great YouTube channel called Ocean Liner Designs. You can find it on YouTube. I'll try and put a link in the description if I remember. But it's very interesting stuff. So we can't actually go through any of them. The corridors can be so narrow to almost be claustrophobic, you know? Like, I almost feel a bit uncomfortable going through there. But I think we've come out of the other... I believe there were 2 first-class staircases. And this, I guess, would be the second. This looks more like the Never Let Go, Jack Never Let Go scene. Oh, that was in the ocean. But anyway, very nice. Champagne. This looks like, is this like a cafe? I know there was a few. Yeah, Cafe Parisien. I believe that the Cafe Parisien was unique to the Titanic amongst its sister ships, but I believe the Britannic, well, one of them was retrofitted to have a Cafe Parisien after the Titanic sank. So it's effectively just a Parisian cafe on the ocean. So you could come here and, again, afternoon tea, as you can see by the afternoon tea thing. You know, tea and croissant, crumpet, whatever you want. Oh, look at this place. It's gorgeous. Look at that. This is... Again, it could be a photograph to me. Unreal Engine 5 does such a phenomenal job of the lighting. I'm the kind of person who likes to explore every nook and cranny, so I apologise for that. But what a phenomenal thing to have built in Unreal Engine 5. We're going to be here for a while, boys and girls. For that, I apologise. Let's have a quick look around this corridor, which was the other connecting way, just to see if there's any open doors over here. I'm guessing they're all closed. All closed. Oh, that one's open. Let's have a look in here. So I guess if that's a window looking out on the ocean and that was on the other side, that's the width of the ship, right? So that's actually not, it's not as wide as you'd think. Like it's pretty wide, but it's, you know, it's not quite as wide. And again, the decor completely different on this, in this cabin, but similar style and layout and stuff, but just completely bespoke for each cabin, which to me is just insane. The level of work that must have gone into not just building each room, but designing each room. Like, why? Nothing's built like that anymore, you know? Like, even the nicest possible hotels in the world will all have pretty much standardized rooms, standardized furniture, standardized everything, because it's just easier and cheaper and more efficient to do that. You can't design hundreds and hundreds of bespoke rooms, but like back in these days, they would go ham. They knew how special the thing they was building was. You know what I mean? It's just wild. Anyway, so this is Cafe Parisienne. Oh, we got the menu. Oh, sweet. Okay. English breakfast, 3 and 6pence. Baked apples, fresh fruit, stewed prunes, back bacon, some British sausage, black pudding. Sounds nice. Fried, shirred, poached, and boiled eggs. I have to admit, I don't know what a shirred egg is. They also do omelettes to order, baked beans, fried tomato, fried mushrooms, fried and toasted bread, tea, coffee, cocoa, chocolate. Or if you go in the other way, or you just happen to be American, you also have the American breakfast, which includes baked apples, fresh fruit, stewed prunes, again, oatmeal porridge, Quaker oats, minced collops. Please tell me in the comments what a minced collop is. Don't have a clue. Calves, liver, and bacon. Oh, you've got mutton chops, fried rice cakes, honey maple syrup, fried shirred poached boiled eggs again, omelettes, blah, 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 mashed saute and jacket potatoes, fried and toasted bread. And again, your choice of coffee, cocoa, or chocolate. Interesting stuff. So does that mean that you could choose from either? Or that going one way they'd do the American breakfast and going one way they'd do the English breakfast? That's a good question, isn't it? So that's the Cafe Parisienne place. Oh, a bit of a loading glitch there. This place, look at this. Can we see the names on the... Wow. Friday, the 12th of April, 1912. Booked in were the following names. I don't know if the names are real or not, but it's not unreasonable to assume these are the actual names, is it? Which is wild. This restaurant is under the management of the company who have appointed Mr. El Gatti, late of Odendo's Imperial Restaurant, London, as manager. Nice. So, field of view there. So, yeah, but look at it's just the way the shadows and the lighting kind of hits, and you know, you've got like the obvious. Again, it's hard to put down in words, but there's something about the lighting and the way the colors work, even without ray traced lighting, which seems to be just on another level in Unreal Engine 5. Like, it just looks correct. And I don't know how or why or what or who or when, but it's just because I'm not clever enough, but it looks phenomenal. Again, if you had ray traced reflections going on in the mirrors, like, you'd be almost sold, you know? Like, it's pretty good. This restaurant is very posh, seats many people. And you get the idea of how wide the ship is, actually, because you can see from end to end. So, that's, if I stand roughly in the middle, it's kind of the width of the ship, at least at this point. So it's not quite as wide as you'd think, but she was still big, for sure. What's going on behind the bar? Not a lot. So, you don't get. So that's pretty much B deck, I think. Let's head up the grand staircase. Let's go. Do you want to? Well, no one's there to answer. Let's go up. I've decided we're going up before we go down. The clock. A deck. Which I'm guessing is the top deck based on the look at the dome. The dome is beautiful. The weird thing is, apparently, after the Titanic sank, this whole dome and the whole staircase just vanished. And it's a bit of a mystery as to where it went. I think it had something to do with water pressure and implosion. And like maybe it actually came out and just all floating out of the ship. But it's... yeah, it's an odd one. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is an odd cabin to be in right at the stairway. Convenient, I guess. Especially for the Cafe Parisienne. But this one looks like a little bit more basic, so I'm wondering if this was a second class cabin. It's hard to tell. I mean, still quite nice. But it definitely doesn't look as opulent. So I'm wondering if this was wonder if this was in second class. I believe some parts of the Titanic could actually be interchanged. So like some parts of second class could become first class and vice versa. So I'm guessing the actual accommodation, I think I just loaded into something there. I think the actual accommodation was somewhat similar between parts of first and second. I think first class had obviously the very ornate, like the one with the big balcony with the 20 deck chairs or whatever. Like you weren't getting that in second class, but like I think a lot of the more modest first class cabins could have been second class and vice versa. Although this is the first class entrance, so I'm guessing it was, at least for the purposes of this voyage, first class. So this is out on the deck, the promenade. There wasn't a lot to do back in the Victorian/Edwardian times, so promenading, as it were, which is just wandering up and down, was a popular thing to do. And it sometimes rained, so having a covered promenade deck so you could promenade in the dry, out of the rain, was again a popular thing to do. And obviously got the deck chairs and stuff, so you could have a sit outside. Are we at the bow of the stern? This is the bow of the ship ahead of us, I believe. I'm not the most nautically aeronautical man in the world, but that would be my educated guess. There is a point, I think, probably about here, where you couldn't go beyond as a passenger. So I think all of this that you see in front is. Although I don't know, because there's benches and stuff over there. Maybe that's third class? For third class use? Where's the bridge of the ship? There's the front, one of the 4 funnels. Where's the bridge? I'm so confused, the bridge is missing. It's probably not missing, I'm just blind, but must be up there somewhere. I'm guessing that's it up there, actually. It would be nice if we could get onto the bridge. So check that out later. So yeah, I mean, this is first class promenade deck then. It's pretty much just what it is, benches and a promenade. Not that exciting, really, unless you are actually there and want some fresh air. But let's have a look let's see how far astern we can. Oh, there's some stairs up. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're cooking with gas. That's not real, but we can get up now onto the bridge deck, I assume. Aha. Notice, passengers are not allowed beyond this point. I knew I wasn't imagining it, but I can go to the engineer's promenade. We'll go there in a minute. So, interesting fact about Titanic's 4 funnels. Some lighting glitches there, but I'll let it off. So as you can see, these 3 funnel stacks are blowing out full-on steam engine exhaust. And they always say that the 4th funnel on the Titanic was just for show, right? Like it was a false funnel. But I've since learned that's not quite entirely the truth, because it was used to funnel certain things. Like I believe the first class, well, the room right below, which I guess was the Cafe Parisien or the restaurant, or somewhere in that area in first class, there's a fireplace which flews out through the 4th funnel. I believe there are also some auxiliary systems that kind of funnel out through the 4th funnel as well. But an interesting fact is the engineers could actually climb up the inside of it. So there's a picture somewhere of it leaving dock, and there's an engineer on the top of the 4th funnel having a wave, because this one wasn't as incredibly hot as the other 3. But it's also fair to say it wasn't entirely a dummy funnel, because it did actually serve some function. So there you go. Interesting facts. The more you know. This is a fun promenade, isn't it? There's all kinds of places. It was a swimming pool. There was never a swimming pool. There was never a swimming pool. Was there? This has swimming pool vibes. No, it's not a swimming pool. That's just a crow's nest. I thought it was like a watchguard tower, which it probably is a watchguard tower, but it's not. Oh, we can get up there. Nice. Notice passengers are not allowed on the compass. Ah, yes. So this is. I know the story behind this. So there's a compass platform, which is way up in the middle of the ship, very high up. And basically, this was a compass which you used to calibrate all the other compasses on the ship, because the ship was basically just a mass ton of iron. It would interfere with the compass, right? Because it's obviously just a load of metal creating a magnetic field. So this was high up and away as possible from the rest of the ship, relatively speaking. So that, and it was in the center of it as well, so that you could have a calibrated compass to then make sure all your other compasses were properly calibrated as well. The more you know. It's shocking how much I know about Titanic already, and I don't really know a lot about Titanic. But I think the interiors look more impressive in Unreal Engine than the exteriors, but that's probably just because it's blanket lighting because the sun's out. It doesn't look terrible, it looks gorgeous. But the interiors are just so impressive. Here we can see one of the lifeboats, Liverpool, White Star Line. Passengers are not allowed forward of this. This what? Let's go on the officers' promenade. And then we'll come back the other way and we'll do the engineers' promenade, and then we'll head into the bells of the ship. Yeah, so many. The lifeboats was an interesting thing too about the Titanic, because obviously there's the whole thing about there wasn't enough lifeboats. But apparently the truth is, because of the way the ship sank, and because of the amount of time it took to kind of give the order to abandon ship anyway, because reasonably speaking, there was only so much actually you could have done at that point. Oh, that's actually the bow of the ship. So that was the stern. So I do not know what I'm doing. That's why I couldn't find the bridge, because the bridge is here. So what a knob. What was I going to say? Yeah, because of the way that you have to assess the situation and blah, 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 by the time they ordered abandoned ship anyway, even if they'd had more lifeboats, I don't think they would have really even been able to launch any more than they did anyway, because the last lifeboat was floated out, not even lowered out, it was just floated on as it went under, somehow managed to get away from the sinking ship, and that was it. Like, it's these things always fascinate me, and I think they're telegraphs, right? So like, if someone, how do they stay in sync? I never fully understood it, right? So like, if I pulled this one around to half, do they all have to change to half? So everyone just has to put them all in the same position? Like, I genuinely don't fully understand how that worked. It's like a very early primitive version of a network, I suppose. But it's still, these things fascinate me in their operation. They all do different things, apparently. So this one says set off night signals, let go tug. It's just, they're like telegraphs, right? Like just ways of sending messages from one end of the ship to the other, I guess, but they all do different things. See, like this one's obviously like on full, and this one is on stop, and that one's on, that's not the same, and that one's on full. I don't understand. Genuinely don't understand. It's fine. I have a vague idea of how that works, but still. So I guess this was the bridge, right? Yeah, that's the wheelhouse. Or our wheel. Guess the captain would have been in here. On the other wheel. There's another compass. Which would have been calibrated with the compass up in the compass tower. We got some gauges. What's this? Ah, weather. Fair. Allegedly. Diagrams of the ship. Very nice. A place to sit would have been nice, I imagine. Oh, we can go through here. Vintage Digital Revival. The first sailing of the latest addition to the VDR fleet, Project 4. This is not authentic to the actual ship, but that's okay. I will allow some self-promotion within Virtual Titanic. That's pretty impressive. It does look nice. Guess the officers had their own little bench to sit on as well. Very posh. You need somewhere comfortable to sit after a hard day of officering. Then at the back, oh, this is the Marconi radio room, I think, right? But if I'm right, there should be a room over here with all the electrics in. Yes, and this will be like a little cabin for them to sleep in. This is the Marconi radio room. This is accurate. So they came in this room, and they were sending messages, obviously, all through the night, trying to find rescue. And I think at the point they abandoned this post, which was pretty late on into the sinking, this room, which as you can see is full of very electrical shit, began to flood. And there you go, the Marconi wireless telegraph. And at that point, this wasn't a very fun place to be. Because as you may know, water and electricity, they do not mix. But brave bastards, frankly, you kept all this stuff going. This was like the gaming PC of its day. Like, this was like the nerdy stuff. Like, what you would call nerds would run this stuff. And they would just live in this box. It's wild, really. That goes back to first class, so we'll leave that for now. Just check we're not missing anything important. We're all good. Let's head. Can we go up anywhere? That's a good question. Because there is. Well, I don't know if there's anything up there. Actually, that's just the funnels, isn't it? So, can we go up the ladder? And 9 on the ladder. There must be a way down there. Well, I don't know, because again, only half the ship is explorable. But I don't know if that means it's cut neatly down the middle, or if that just means of the whole ship, roughly half of it is visitable because the other half is just closed rooms. Don't know. We'll find out through the course of this escapade, I guess. Let's go back onto the first class promenade, and we'll head to what I thought was the bow, but is actually the stern of the ship. Because again, nautical expert here. Off we go. Try and speed this along because we've seen all this. As I wonder if there's a day-night cycle. It would be wild to come out on this when it's night. I'll have to check that out at the end. Why don't I just check it out now? Options. I don't think there's a way to change the date or make it nighttime, but it's fine. It would be nice to see it all lit up, you know? I'll have to look into it. There might be a way to do that. So the Engineer's Promenade apparently only goes from here to here, and then that's the second class promenade, which will take us into second class. So let's see what's in the Engineer's Promenade. Scotland Road, right, that'll be fun. We'll look at that in a bit. Scotland Road was like a massive corridor that just went the length of the ship. And I think, yeah, it was generally used by crew, not so much passengers. Although I think second and maybe third class passengers could get in there too. But yeah, Scotland Road will be very long. It will look interesting, that one. Yeah, I mean, second class promenade deck's not massively dissimilar. I mean, the deck chairs are closer together, so you get less personal space. I guess it's all a bit more cramped. More lifeboats on deck. But overall, it's not terrible, is it? It's still quite nice. And the interiors, I guess, if this is second class interiors, are not terrible either. Like they look quite nice. Second class entrance, some nice benches. The blue ensign flying at the stern of the ship, the docking bridge. So that is indeed the stern of the ship there. Yeah. This is just the same as any promenade, isn't it? It's just wooden planks and deck chairs. That's basically what promenades are. Oh, I thought the back had collapsed on that one, but it's just a rug. What's this? Fan number 19 for the restaurant. Ah, like an exhaust fan. I see. Yeah. So, these funnels would exhaust things from, like, you know, exhaust fumes from restaurants and stuff, but it also bring fresh air in, right? That's kind of why they're funneled in a weird way, because they'll grab the fresh air coming in, but also they're high up so that they're not blowing exhaust fumes onto the people on the deck, as it were. The people promenading don't have to smell the kitchen exhaust or whatever. Cool. Let's check out second class. Why not? So this is A deck, but obviously in second. Again, it looks so nice. The interiors are so nice. Don't know why. It's just the lighting. I think it's just the lighting detail, which is just so much nicer on interiors. I think just because there's more subtlety in the variation. So I'm guessing this is the equivalent of what we had in first class, but in second. So we've got a promenade deck as well, which we came out to before. Will this let us down to the front of the ship? Will. Okay, we'll go there soon. But yeah, I'm guessing this is the second class restaurant, which isn't terrible. I mean, it looks quite nice. Certainly must have been more value for money. I think this looks like more like a bar than a restaurant, doesn't it? Leads out to what's in here? Interesting. Let's go down a level. There's so much to explore. I don't know how long I can. See, like, I'm guessing with second, the staircase is you know, it's a perfectly nice staircase, and it's still got nice wooden adornations, but it's not the grand staircase of the of first class. It's still got a clock, but I mean, it's not quite. But also, there's little things in there, like, you know, these big things just going through the middle of doorways. You know, it's kind of like, it's nice, but there's, you know, when you pay for first class, I guess you're getting just that next level attention to detail that you just, in second, it's like a few things are let go. Like the benches out here don't look quite as comfortable. Notice, passengers are not allowed beyond this point. Well, I'm not a passenger, so that's okay. But I mean, you know, you still got quite nice waiting areas. Oh, this looks like another restaurant / bar. It looks more like a bar. I'm guessing, yeah, look, we've got chess going on here. We've got some wine glasses out. So this does have a very pub-like feel to it. So I'm guessing there's just lots of common rooms and pubs and things. Places to drink, maybe eat. Elevator still has a chair in it, so it's not terrible. Did we check out here? I think we did. It's hard to know which way to go because there's just so much to explore. Let's check out the accommodations so we can see how they compare to first class. Oh, is this first class accommodations I just walked into? I make a mistake there. Guess there's only one way to find out. Pink screen ends. Second class promenade. No, I'm guessing this is second class. Now the accommodations difference is quite stark if this is second class accommodation. You've got your own personal place to sit. It's cramped though. It's clearly obviously way more packed in. You've got a desk. Somewhere to read and do some work. You've got some drink. I don't know if that was complimentary or not. Bookshelf, clock. Medicine cabinet. And then through you've got your bedroom, which is a fairly standard single bed. Some wardrobe space. Heater. Somewhere to put your luggage and stuff like that. So it's pretty bare bones. I don't know if there was a sink that folded out there maybe or something, but there doesn't seem to be anything immediately obvious in terms of washroom facilities, so they were probably shared. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is the ship's surgeon. So I'm just talking absolute shit. This is this is the doctor's office. So this is where he would put his patients, and this is all of his drugs, and that's probably why he's got the hard liquor out. My apologies. Some assumptions were made there, and confused the doctor. This is crew only. Interesting. The assistant doctor. So like a second doctor's office in case the first doctor's office was occupied. Restaurant manager had his own little office slash bed. That's where he slept and worked. Chief steward, similar setup. Tell you what, the crew didn't functional. Well, the crew went in the nicest of digs. I mean, it's all a bit cramped. I guess they're not paying passengers though, are they? So that is what it is. Stewardesses. Entrance. Now we're on C deck. So now we're back in first class. Okay. Which we haven't been on C deck in first class yet. The clock will be set backward at midnight. 49 minutes. Ah, because of the change of time zone. So you slowly kind of... Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Ah. Ah. Interesting. So by the time you got to America, the clocks were basically in the right place, and they just kind of slowly shifted through the voyage, rather than just having one big leap. How bizarre. I guess that makes sense. How bizarre. You're going to be constantly setting your watch through this voyage. So what's this? This is the Maids and Valet Saloon. I guess this is where the crew come to eat, perhaps? Kind of has that vibe about it. I mean, the tables are nicely set. But you've got the very functional kind of kitchen there, where it all comes in through the hatch. And, yeah. This is like the staff eating area. Guess this was maybe for the higher-ups. Captain's Galley, King George V. On the wall there, of course. And, yeah. This was the Captain's Galley, maybe? There's nothing on the label. P and O Marconi Officers Saloon. So I guess this is where the Marconi officers came. Interesting stuff. Oh, what's this? This is this first or second? I think we're back in first class, but it's hard to tell. What an amazing thing to take with you on your voyage. A gramophone. Note to passengers, the White Star Line has provided a safe in the office of the purser in which passengers may deposit money, jewels or ornaments for safekeeping. The company will not be liable for the passengers' loss of money, jewels or ornaments by theft or otherwise not so deposited. Is this a steward's... Is this like a steward's cabin? But no, there's too many beds for that. Or is this just telling you who your steward and stewardess who looks after you will be? That voyage. Linen, fresh linen. Bathrooms. It feels like hotel services down this corridor, to be honest. Okay. Some more bedrooms. This is bizarre. What material is this? That is... I'm not sure what that is. Smaller, like more cramped, but definitely opulent. Like it's not an unpleasant space. This brings us back out to the grand, one of the many grand staircases. What an interesting corridor. What an interesting corridor indeed. How bizarre. Let's move through quickly. Yeah, and the lighting on Unreal Engine 5 is phenomenal. Like, it's pretty nice. It is mind-blowing to me. So, like, what cabins are this? Like, this can't be first class, right? That's got to be a second class cabin, right? You know. I don't know how you even book. Like, how do you know what you're booking? How do you know what room you're going to get? Like, it just seems odd to me. Every single bedroom, not one has been consistent in any even slight way. Oh, is this the purser's office? Smoking. It kind of feels that way, doesn't it? Oh, is this the mailroom? Oh, this is where you could come and send a telegram, I think. And they would then pass the message up to that Marconi room, which was up near the bridge, and through pneumatic tubes, I believe. So if I'm right, there'll be like a big pneumatic machine somewhere. I might be wrong. Unless this is the pneumatic machine. The pipes look a bit small. Yeah, interesting. It looks like some kind of mail or telegraph room. I'm not entirely sure. Let's head down. Let's head down a deck. I'll have to come back up through second. It's a nice picture there on the wall. Oh, look at this candle holder. That is ornate, isn't it? That is ornate. This feels like another restaurant slash first class area. There's so many just general places to mull about on the ship, right? Like there's just, oh, the frame rate's gone through the floor in this room. The frame rate has gone through the floor. Let's see. Let's turn the DLSS on, shall we? Yanksy Spiksies. That helps a little. That's helped a little. Good old NVIDIA coming in clutch with the DLSS. Let's get the air conditioner on as well because it's warm in here. My PC might be overheating with all this Unreal Engine 5-ness. Oh, here's an interesting fact. So, which this demonstrates quite nicely. So when you, so like I was saying earlier about this whole vibe of trying to make it feel like you're in a hotel and not on the ocean, because we're now below deck, as it were. There are portholes rather than windows, right? For strength and blah blah blah. So to make it feel more like you're in a natural room, they had these stained glass windows, which kind of covered over the portholes, as you can see there, and they kind of had diffusers behind them, so it felt like they were just normal square windows, double portholes, so one at the top, one at the bottom. So they just felt like normal windows, even though you were below deck. It just made the place feel bright, lighter in area, and took your mind off the fact you were at the ocean. And also, interestingly enough, you can see them there. There was light bulbs going around the inner frame, so at night they could open these up, turn the lights on, and close them back up again. So even at night, the stained glass windows would be all lit up, and it would all be nice and bright. So there you go. More facts about the Titanic that you may not have known. Yeah, this is a nice place, isn't it? We're quite packed in. There's a place for everyone in this deck, in this restaurant. I'm not sure if this, again, I'm not sure if I'm in first or second class. This feels more second class, potentially. It's very hard to tell, because it just feels a bit more dense and packed in, Even the pianist is flanked on all sides. Feels more spacious out here, I guess. This is some bold pattern work on these chairs. Floral design. We've got yet another promenade of some description. Oh, maybe not. That's got something to do with kitchen preparation, maybe? Is this where you board? Is this where you board and leave the ship, maybe? Ladies again. I think we may have been down this corridor. I can't quite remember. I don't know. I feel a bit penned in. Oh, hello. What we got here then? D-deck. It's just, this feels like we're going down into third class now. Would be my assumption. I might be wrong. What's on this deck? Not a lot. Head aft. Head aft. I will head aft. E-deck elevators. Again, I just don't know if I'm in first or second class anymore. First class entrance. So we're still in first class. Yeah, we're still in first class. Okay. So let's head down again within first. F deck. Turkish baths. Okay, nice. We can go in the Turkish baths. Now, this is a famous room within the Titanic where you had the lounges, the steam rooms, showers within the Turkish baths. It's ornate tap. Oh, there we go. There's a swimming pool within the Turkish baths. Some showers again there. Changing rooms. Can we head into the pool? I dare say we can. You can even look at... Oh, look at that. It's not the most realistic water I've seen in a game. But again, I think it's the lighting that Unreal Engine 5 brings to the table that kind of really makes the whole thing pop. It's very nice indeed. It's quite an ominous swimming pool, isn't it? It's not the most massive swimming pool I've ever seen, and it's quite deep in. But, you know, a pool is a pool is a pool. What's this? Some kind of traction machine? What the frick is this for? Oh my god. You would not put me... I would not get in that in a quadrillion years. What the frick is this thing? Good lord. No. Shower. Again, what's this? Like some sort of... Isn't this the kind of thing that people do for autopsies where they just... Some weird shit going on in the Turkish baths, guys. I mean... Put me out on the slab. Getting some more lounging areas, I guess. Guess these were steam rooms? Very opulent there, very nice, very posh. All very posh. Very posh. Right, I think we've seen the Turkish baths. Seen all we need to see there. Linen storage. There are an entire section of the ship. Jeez, that's a lot of linen. Oh, look at that. You can see the exposed bulkheads. Like they haven't cladded it over in this section. This is just the, you know, it's been painted for protection, but it's not been cladded over, as it were. So this section feels very much more utilitarian. Compared to first class. No, so this is Scotland Road. We're on Scotland Road. Yes, all doors lead to Scotland Road eventually, because it's the big corridor that connects. But you see the length of that? It's a long corridor. I could have sworn it was longer, to be honest, but maybe I'm imagining things. A little light just filtering through there. So yeah, this is what they called Scotland Road. I wonder what all this area is used for. Cargo, maybe? Storage of stuff? I guess this goes up on deck. Where are we up on deck? Maybe this is just a third class common area, because there's like tables with chairs, but yeah, there's just big open spaces where clearly stuff could go. Oh, this would go all the way down and just let light all the way down into the ship, wouldn't it? Tracks of the White Star steamers. So obviously we're on the Britain to New York run. But I mean, they would go everywhere. New Zealand, Indian Ocean, India, Africa, Montevideo, sorry, Cape Town, Algiers, Gibraltar, Turkey. Wild. They go to Canada. They did. We went to Canada. Of all places. Right. Can we head up on this? We can. Just want to get my bearings and try and figure out where I am. What is this place for? What? What? There's nothing there, right? I have no idea what that's about. Crew companionway. I'm guessing this is more crew areas, right? This is what I'm feeling like. Let's go down Scotland Road. What have we got in here? Sorry. It's more of those weird corridors. So yeah, Scotland Road was just a big, long, interconnecting corridor. Public bathroom. Some urinals. So this was clearly the gentlemen's. I mean, again, even though this is either for crew or for third class, like, you know, it's not. It's still quite opulent, you know. Like it's not terrible. Been in worse bathrooms. I don't know about the toilet seats, but that's fine. It was 1912, I guess. What have we got here? Steward's one. So I guess this is where all the crew slept then. Oh, geez, it was cracked in here. Jesus Christ. That's rough. I mean, yikes. Imagine sleeping there with some dude's feet right there, and but it fucking stunk in this place, didn't it? Like, it must have been rough. Rough as dog shit in there, I'm telling you. No, thank you. Steward's lavvy. So these were for the stewards to go to the toilet? Oh, I can't get in there for some reason. That's fine. Go down there. Stairs to F deck. So yeah, I mean, I get just a big long corridor. I guess it made it easy for the crew to get where they needed to go. Crew quarters, crew messes, just places for the crew to do crew-related things. King George V again there. And I think King George. No, is that the captain? Maybe. So yeah, very very functional area of the ship, but definitely not first class. Oh, here we go. So this thing, we're now down in some of the boiler rooms, engine rooms. There are some engines ticking away down there. And we're in the engine rooms. I love a good steam engine, I tell you what. I do love a triple expansion engine. Look at this. It's mesmerizing to watch. No sound. It's the one thing I've noticed about this entire video, actually, when it's just come to there's no sound. Like the engines are not making any noise. It was a bit weird and unfortunate, but I guess that's fine. It's a work in progress. The interesting thing about triple expansion engines is thus. Steam from the boilers would be fed into the first set of pistons, which would then expel steam, which would then go into a larger set of pistons, which would then, because the steam was now under less pressure, because the pressure had been used to move the first piston, now moved a second larger piston, or smaller piston, one way or the other, to then make use of the steam that was expelled from the first set of pistons, and then the second pistons would then expel its steam into a third set of even bigger / smaller pistons. I don't know which way around it is. So that, again, under lower pressure, so that you were maximizing the use of the steam. So that the steam you were expelling was then getting used again and used again, so that then you get the most efficiency out of the engine. Really cool, if you ask me, if you like engines. Although, interestingly enough, at this point in time, traditional piston steam engines like that were kind of falling out of favor. It's becoming a bit more about the steam turbine. And Titanic did have a steam turbine, but I think it was used for the electricity and maybe for the middle propeller only. And the big triple expansion engines did the rest of the propellers. But yeah, massive, because they were reliable, right? They were a proven technology. Got massive chunks of metal just spinning around. Just, I've seen one of these things in real life. They are no joke. What's this? I think this may be cargo or more engine room. But that definitely looks like some kind of sorting cargo area. What's up there, I wonder? A sledgehammer, which I cannot pass. But I guess these are the electrical generators. They look like electrical jennies. Which may have provided some of the lighting for the ship, one may assume. Again, please don't take anything I'm saying as gospel or fact, because I'm just making educated guesses / filling in with what I do know. I could be talking absolute bullshit, which is why, you know, I think that the front of the ship is the back and then the steward's cabin is second class. But it's fascinating either way. Anything down there? Not a lot. There is way more of this ship explorable than I thought there would be. Oh, that's looking down on... I'm guessing that's a passenger area because of the flooring, but not sure. I guess a lot of this stuff was either for loading in cargo or just to get natural light in. It just feels like there's so much space that's just not used, or at least not used massively effectively. I might be wrong on that, but it just seems that way. We're down in the bowels of the ship now based on the shape of the hull. I tell you what. That's as far aft as we can go, if we are indeed after the ship. Let's go up here. Guess this will just take us right back up out on deck. Does indeed. Nice. Are we at the bow? We're at the aft of the ship. Nice. Okay. So again, loading cranes and stuff. Benches, which I'm assuming were for third class or crew. And this was the famous part, or the, you know, where Rose tried to jump off the back of the ship. I don't know if you can see what's written on that sign on the other side. Guess you can't. But yeah, that's the Blue Ensign, which was flown by... Interesting fact, most ships would fly the Red Ensign, which was this flag, but red instead of blue. And the reason why it was flying the Blue Ensign instead of the Red Ensign is because if there's any commissioned naval officers on board, which I believe the captain and the first officer might have been, but again, don't correct me on that as fact, you would fly a Blue Ensign instead because there were Royal Navy commissioned officers on board. So it's still a merchant ship, still a civilian ship, but it's good. There are naval officers aboard, and therefore you would fly the Blue Ensign instead of the Red Ensign. So there's some more nautical stuff for you there. And this is called the docking bridge. And people say that it was used for docking the ship. So like, because it's at the back of the ship and it might be easy to dock and stuff. But the reality was it was never really used much. Well, it was, in Titanic's case, it was never used, obviously, because it sank. But I'm thinking obviously of the Britannic and Oceanic, the other ships. But it was a backup, right? So because the other ones were connected by hydraulic lines, if the hydraulics to the engine rooms ever failed, this one was connected directly to the rudders or whatever. So this one would steer the ship no matter what. So it was kind of like there as a backup. I guess it could have been useful for docking, but my understanding is rarely used as such. Yeah. There we go. It's the aft part of the ship there. Let's head back down. Oh, what's in here actually? Is this third class? Is this like a third class bar? It's got the working man's club vibe about it. I'll tell you that for free. With the spittoons and the cigarettes going on. Wild, absolutely wild. I wanted to try and find some third class accommodation. Third class passengers are not allowed on this deck. I see. So this is for the second class enclosed promenade, and this is for third class. That makes sense. That's why there's benches and yeah. Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so third class is going to be in here somewhere then. And we know that there's not a lot going on there, so it must be down yet another level. So I'm guessing this is third class kind of accommodations. Well, this is Scotland Road again, right? I can't go down another level. It would have been nice to see an example of a third class cabin. I can't really see one. I guess it's going to be somewhat similar to what we saw down there. You know, the crew cabins and stuff. Oh, hang on. Second class aft staircase. The layout of the ship is confusing to me sometimes. Like the demarcation between first and second class is just a bit confusing to me. I don't think we've seen a proper example of a second class cabin yet, at least not that I'm consciously aware of. Well, that staircase ends abruptly. There must be some cabins through here somewhere. No? Yeah. Second class was cramped. At least this part was. It's all a bit of a dead end. Okay. It's fine, like saying 50% of the ship, that's fair. I think I already checked down there, and I don't want to make people angry by constantly going round and round in circles. But let's... Oh, did we go in here? No, this looks like something new. I'm guessing this is second class breakfast / dinner. I'm guessing by all the fruit, it's going to be breakfast. It's got breakfast vibes. Divine service held in the saloon on Sundays at 10:30. In case you wanted to worship God. It's quite nice. You can head up one set of stairs. Here we are on C deck. I think we've been here before. This looks vaguely familiar. I think we've been here before. Let's see if we can find a second class cabin. There must be one somewhere. Let's back out onto the ship. That's the breakfast place again. What's down there? Not a lot. I think we checked that out. And then this is where the staircase is just going to end again. Yeah, not much going on there. Alright, I'm guessing second class is not massively represented in this recreation. Which is a shame because you always hear about the first class passengers on Titanic. You always hear about the third class passengers who lived in relative squalor and were treated like shite and were generally immigrants trying to make their way to America, and they were obviously the ones who were left to drown, kind of penned in, allegedly. But you don't hear a lot about what happened in second class. It's kind of... It's not one extreme or the other, and therefore it was just very much what it was. I think what we'll do is we will head back to the main menu. We'll see if there's anywhere interesting on the list of places you can spawn into that we may have missed on our journey around the Titanic. That down. So we've been first class promenades, we've been to the Turkish baths, we've done second class and third class, we've done the officers area, we've done that area, crew forward. Don't know if we've been there, so we might check that out. Post office and baggage in, I'm not sure about that. We the boiler rooms, let's try the boiler rooms. I don't know if we went down that deep into the boiler rooms. We definitely didn't go this deep into the boiler rooms. Yikesy spikesies. I keep saying that, sorry. There would have been hot and sweaty work down here just feeding coal into these boilers. Jesus. I did not think it was this cramped. That is cramped. Can I go in the coal bunker? Why can't I go in the coal bunker? These boys have gone into far too much detail. Why can I go in the coal bunker? Oh my god. Oh my days. Look at this place. It's mental. How much coal would have been in there? Wow. Alright. Fireman's Passage. Make my way through. So this is where the firemen would come and go. On to and from the boilers, I guess, to stoke the fires, but oh jeez. It's fair to say not everyone on the ship is getting an equal experience. Way out this side, men will break step while in tunnel. What does that mean, break step? I guess they must have been coming and going like crazy bastards. I guess it was that hot, you could only work in there for so long. They're literally a production line of boiler stokers. That's crazy. Yeah, the staircase is a bit making me dizzy. This way down G deck. There's the cargo holds. We can go into. There we go. So this is the kind of thing we would have been passing along. Supplies from the West Food Incorporated. Some Desert Express. Some bags. Guess the contraband is back here somewhere. Reach. Supplies. Oh, treasure, found the treasure, found a treasure chest. Rubies and diamonds and gems. I'm rich, richer than the wildest dreams I've ever The person who owns that chest should have gone to see the bursar. They've made a fatal error there. If that goes missing, White Star Line will not be held culpable. I guess we'll go up again. Going down to F deck. This is where the cargo was lowered in and out, which is kind of what I was thinking earlier, I guess. So these are more. This is probably where the boiler men lived. Good lord! Like, just imagine being at this bunk at the back, just hemmed in by. Just, it can't have been nice. It cannot have been pleasant. It just does not seem like the nicest of places to be on the ship. Go up, not down. Around and round we go. What have we got over here then? Some more accommodation, I guess. Again. Pretty hemmed in. Oh, what's down there? Oh, wow, what? I guess that hatch would usually be closed, I'm assuming, but are these like the anchor chains? Wow. Imagine if these chains went off while you were trying to get some sleep up here. Like, good gravy. That must have been... I can't get back up there. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, I'm not out yet. That can't have been nice. That must have been rough stuff. Presumably they wouldn't lower the anchor in during the voyage anyway. Still, they weren't putting paying passengers in that location. I think is the point. It's wild. Go up here then. What is that? Kind of looks like a toilet, but I'm guessing it's not. Is it just something to stand on? Was it like an inspection hatch? It's crazy. Now we're up on sea deck. Can we fall all the way through there? There's no fall damage, so we're okay. Jeez. Jeez Louise, that wasn't a working ladder. Go all the way back up the spiral staircase again. Good. Working at height, you should never leave a hatch cover open like that. People may fall down it. It is not safe. So that's where the stuff happened in the bowels of the ship. And I'll tell you, oh, can we climb up the crow's nest? Not the funnel, this is the crow's nest. What it might be like the funnel. It's can get up in the crow's nest. Can we ring the bell? Why don't we ring the bell? I wanted to ring the bell. Have a look. Can we get back in? So this is what they would have seen. Stan's iceberg. This must have been an intimidating place to be on that night. Now this is interesting. This looks like some kind of auxiliary machinery, I guess. I guess this was like the winch room. This looks like a giant winch. I guess, again, would be... yeah. Look. It's going right out the back of the ship. Is where the anchor would be. On the front of the ship, I should say. That would be like the forward anchor or something? Or tow line? But that just feels like a winch to winch in an anchor to me. Would make all this stuff just machinery used in the activity of winching and unwinching. Amazing. Amazing. All the stuff that you need to make a ship work, you just don't think about when you're in first class, drinking your fine sail, whiling the afternoon away in the luxuries of your first class cabin. Some mess room there. What's in this room? This looks like where the hard stuff is made, where the hoop is on boil. That's a block of cheese, so there is that. So there's some kitchen. This is a kitchen. My educated guess. That is a kitchen. That's the crow's nest again. I feel like we've been down there. Okay. How do you get out onto the deck? I feel like I'm trapped in. There's no easy way out. Alright, let's go back to the main menu. That was good. I enjoyed the boiler rooms. Where else might we have missed? We've been to the boiler rooms. Feel like we've done the rest of this. Explore the simple, such as the dining, saloon, open space, and general room. Okay, so we can so there's no cabins there. Some beautiful forgotten space on the ship, including the smoke room, library, and dining rooms. We've done that. We've done the Turkish baths. We've done the first class promenade. We've done crew area forwards. Let's do. So the only thing I can think of is that we may have missed. What we probably did was the post room and the baggaging room. I have a feeling we maybe did go in this area. No, I don't think we did. I don't really understand how post works on a ship. I guess this is the post going from people who stayed in England to people who wanted it in America, vice versa. So I guess you could sort the mail on the way. Just like transatlantic mail would be my guess. It's all I can think of. Because there's no point in sending a letter while you're on the ship, because you might as well just send it when you get there. It's not going to get there any quicker. You know, look at all this mail just hanging in bags. All sorted from where it needs to go, from A to B. From Preston to Pennsylvania. Fascinating stuff. And I guess this is more cargo again. Luggage? This feels more like luggage than cargo. A lot of people must have been taking a lot of stuff with them to start a new life in America, as it were. Let's go to the very front of the ship, because I don't think we did that. And then I will end the video because I've literally shown you the entire thing, pretty much from after stern. But it definitely, I keep thinking that's the loading screen. It's not. On my apologies. What's the best way to get to the front of the ship? Let's kick off from the promenade. There must be a way out there from there, I would assume. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? I mean, I imagine exploring what I've just explored here on the game probably wouldn't have been entirely unfeasible to do in roughly the same amount of time in real life. Which, what, about like an hour and a half? So it's not a small place, but it also feels weirdly smaller as well. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, and then I'm just blown away by just how much space is just null space, right? Like just literally just places to walk and places to sit, like just nothingness, just empty spaces. It's a little bit mind blowing to me. Don't know how to get down there, if I'm honest. There must be a way down there. I'm going to guess through the crew quarters. Oh, it's not letting me through there. Weird. Try the other side. Nope. Doesn't want to let me in there. Weird. There must be a way to get to the front of the ship. Don't know if there is actually, because there's all that in the way. Maybe not. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Yeah, this has been an exploration of the Titanic. A little bit of a different video for you there. If you liked it, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more strange stuff from me, and I'll catch you on the next one.